Oh, folks, I know it's been a while, but I am finally back in the Lego City. Apologies for the lack of content from this awesome facility that we have available to us. For those of you who only watch the Lego City content and might not have seen the updates we've done in between, I have been suffering from like the back spasm of all back spasms for the last few weeks. Even now, as you can see, I'm not really standing up straight properly. I certainly can't bend over and do very much fiddling in here, but I am finally able to stand up a bit again and was able to drive myself here. So we are back in the city. More regular content will hopefully be coming soon. I've actually got some more wood arriving in a few days. So the next update is likely to be the next like carpentry expansion. I've done almost as much carpentry in here since we've had the studio as I have Lego, but I figured it was a good opportunity before we do that to just show you where we've got to over the first couple of months. It's been a couple of months, over the first couple of months of us having the Lego City and what my plans are going forward. Because in these couple of weeks away, my plans have changed significantly, taking on board loads of your feedback. And I definitely think they've changed for the better. Before I show you the city properly, excuse the mess. It is literally left as it was the last time we were here, that video where Anna was here and we were doing some sorting and I got halfway through building a train and then we went home. I literally haven't been here since then, so I haven't had a chance to tidy up. So you're just going to have to bear with me a little bit on that, but I am obviously going to have to start moving some stuff soon to fit the new wood in. But this is the current situation. Even that shot, I think, looks very, very cool. But like I say, I have plans, and the plans start over this side of the room with the new wood. I made a video where I sat there with a spreadsheet trying to explain what my plan was, just with a spreadsheet. But I've now kind of finalised what the plan actually is. We had a bit of a discussion about whether we wanted to continue with the raised platform just along the back or make it an L shape. After much feedback and much discussion, we've decided to do both. So the biggest piece of new wood that's arriving is another one the size of these three that we have along the back, which will fit perfectly on here. So we're leaving the back raised area as is, nice and raised up, but we are getting a fourth one of those to completely raise up this whole side as well. And then we're going to basically have the downtown building area of the city, the bit that you can kind of see there at the moment, is going to work around this area in an L shape and probably cover this whole area all the way through that corner and all the way along here, pretty much to where this table cuts it off, is what I'm thinking. But that's not it for the new wood. We've also got some pieces that are half the width. So basically 2 base plates deep, which are going to be enough to follow all the way around that same L shape. So all the way along there, and then all the way along again to the same point. What that means is, rather than having this street situation, which I think does look cool, I really like how this looks when I'm in here at these kind of angles, and I think it probably is a more realistic way for the city to look. But the problem is, half the modulars are completely hidden. We've spent thousands of pounds on all of this plastic that's in front of me, and we can only really see the bits that are completely end on. So I think we're going to abandon realism a little bit and effectively take some inspiration from what we saw when we were at the Lego house in Denmark, and all the way along basically against the wall, we're going to have the row of modulars. So it'll be on a raised platform. So this is currently 4 base plates deep. So the new raised platform will come 2 base plates deep, which will allow us to keep the train track where it is. It will run underneath the new raised platform. And we're actually going to extend the train track so it goes all the way down that end as well. So make the train track a little bit longer. But we'll have the two base plates on an additional raised platform, so we can then have a row of modulars all the way along in a massive L shape all the way along, which will allow us to see things like the Daily Bugle and the Avengers Tower front on, because at the moment they're a little bit weird side on. But it will also mean we'll be able to see every one of the buildings because they're all going to be facing us. We can then have a road in front of that, another base plate thickness of road, which we can embed train track in and have a tram running along that top layer. So this is an excuse to squeeze some more trains in for sure. And then in front of the raised platform, we can have another row of modulars, again going off in a big L shape, with another road in front, which will have this existing train track, which will loop all the way around like that. We might take it down the L shape, we might not. I'm thinking this track we've already got on, we might leave just in this big circle, but the one that's going to be on the new raised platform, the higher platform, will just shuttle back and forth in an L shape and go all the way along, so they're not following exactly the same routes. And what all of that means is not only will we be able to fit in even more modulars than we've got in here at the moment, but we'll be able to see them all. They will all be facing us. There'll be none squeezed into corners side on. There'll be none with another modular in front of them, so we can't really see them. Like, for example, at the moment, whatever this is in this corner, unless I crane and lean all the way around here, I can't even see what they are. And it just seems a little bit of a waste having them there if we can't see them. So that's going to be solved on the new system. So we'll have, like I say, train track there, tram track along the top there, lots of modulars. And then this corner, I've ordered 2 new tabletops, so not pieces of wood, but we'll have 2 of the IKEA Linman tabletops to raise this up. So it's raised up right from the edge, like a raised platform in the corner. And that's where the Lion Knight's Castle and the medieval area is going to go. And I'm going to try and raise that a little bit higher than anything we've got in the city. So we basically, in the corner, have the castle on the hill. So the Lion Knight's Castle and the medieval area is going to go there on an area that's going to be, because it's going to have the train track under it, it's effectively going to be 4 base plates by 4 base plates, with the train track running under it in a tunnel. So we'll have a tunnel here where it disappears under, and then there'll be another tunnel at the other end where it hits the L shape. So the only bit you'll actually see is the straight bit that goes in front, and the rest of it will be hidden underneath. But we'll then have the Lion Knight's Castle on there. And then over on this side, again, sticking with trains for a minute, we're going to take up this track that we've got in at the moment. This is going to be going, even though I have now added another train to it, which is not powered because I forgot to bring a screwdriver, so I can't put batteries in it. But we have now got an actual train that looks like an actual train, and the actual tram that looks like an actual tram, and the other train that looks dead, which is now going to have to come back to life because we now need a 3rd train for the 3rd track that we're going to have. But over here, because this is going to be raised up all the way along, and then we're going to have another raised platform there, it'll be the same design with row of modulars, road, row of modulars, road, tiered so we can see everything. But all the way along here, we're going to have these little areas where we can actually have underground scenes. So what I'm thinking here, we've talked before about maybe exposing this little bit of track here so you could see the train go past as if it was the underground. Well, now we can put an actual underground station on the raised platform here, and underneath have a full-on underground station, which we'll be able to see from this side. It'll then have the platform on top and the city on top of that. And not only can we have an underground station there, we could maybe put another one over there, for example, because we're going to have the whole city is going to be up on stilts, basically. So we can have a couple of underground stations, but also some other underground scenes as well. Things like, and this is very much fantasy speculation for down the road, but we could have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sewer, we could have a bat cave, we could have an underground for the X-Mansion. I've always wanted to put like Minecraft stuff underneath the platform as well, even going back to our first version of the city. So there's lots of like underground scenes that we can have on all of these little exposed areas that we're going to have all around. They're not all going to be covered with walls. And it's going to be awesome. So that whole area will be the city. And then this massive bit in front is not going to be raised up. This is going to be my seaside and beach area. So again, we can have a little row of shops, a little row of buildings that kind of backs up against where the raised platform is. But then the rest of it can be boardwalk and promenade and beach and a pier and the sea, and we can put some pirate ships and boats and stuff in the sea. We can have a big pier with a roller coaster on and maybe the Ferris wheel that we've got over there, and have like a seaside fun fair on this massive beach area, which is going to be effectively like a seaside town that just kind of drops down a level from the city above it. And what we might even do is, rather than dropping the full distance, we might have the modulars raised up a little bit so we can continue to go sort of in a downhill direction to get towards actually hitting the sea, and then have an awesome pier come out across there. And that will be some of our smaller seasidey kind of rides. And then that's just going to leave us our last area for development, this table at the end, which is obviously going to have the Lion Knight's Castle and the medieval stuff in the corner. And then I'm thinking we probably put like a cliff face or something there, really put some separation in. We could potentially even shuffle the tables down so there's a gap and have this table hit this wall and actually have some proper separation between this and the rest of the city to signify this is the other area. So this is an area I'm probably not going to develop for a long while. This will be one of the last stages that we do, but this is where we can put stuff like Ninjago, stuff like the theme park, the expanded X Mansion, maybe the stuff that doesn't fit anywhere else can go in here, and this can just be like a cool area. The Winter Village could go on this table when we're at that time of year, and this could almost become like an area that rotates in and out and has different stuff on from time to time. That's kind of almost connected to the city, but not quite. And we can have kind of different scenes, like I say, that rotate in and out. Gives me a place to put the loop coaster, and then when there's stuff that would be on here that's come off because we've got a different display. So if we need to take the loop coaster off to put the Winter Village on, for example, we could either move everything underneath because we've got a lot of space underneath this table, or we've also got a lot of space behind that curtain where stuff could go when it's not actively being displayed here. But since the last time I was here, I have built the Creator 3-in-1 roller coaster on a stream, which is awesome, and I want to put that on my pier. I've also built Ninjago City Gardens, which is incredible, and I definitely want a Ninjago area in here somewhere. But looking at the older Ninjago sets like Ninjago City and docks and stuff, they're so expensive. I don't think I'm going to be able to get all of the Ninjago sets, but I'd like a little Ninjago area with a little theme park area. I still want to do my expanded X Mansion, but I don't think it will fit in the new city design because we're never going to have an area that's got more than that 2 base plates of depth, and I kind of want to expand it even further than that. We could potentially have the X Mansion down on the beach, or like I say, down on this area. So that kind of drops down the priority list a little bit with all this other stuff that's going on. But yeah, I am super excited. And I just have that frustration that I can't just get started on it now because I've got to wait for the wood to arrive because I can't really do anything now. Even being here today, I'm looking around, there's not really anything I can do other than start to clear that off so I can put some wood there when it comes. But even that, I don't know if I can do the leaning and the clearing today because of my stupid back. So I'm probably going to leave in a minute. I've come in, had a look, feel very happy that I've been here, but also very frustrated that I can't really do anything. But I've been to a chiropractor. My back is slowly improving. So fingers crossed next time I'm here, I will be setting up the wood. And once we've got that wood in, I think that is then a final like structure for the city that now has a clear, logical plan that I think is going to look good. I think these early stages were important, letting me know what does and doesn't work. I think I needed to do this layout because it was in my head. So I needed to do this layout to understand that actually this isn't the layout. This is a layout. It's not the layout. And I'm hoping the new one will be the layout. Because if it's not, I'm going to have a lot of wood and absolutely nowhere to put it. So it kind of needs to be. But yeah, I'm very excited, very optimistic. And yeah, thank you very much to those of you who've been incredibly patient. I am very aware, believe me, very aware. Like, stressing me out to the point where it's woken me up panicking in the night a couple of times. And yeah, I'm usually a good sleeper, but I've had a few moments where I've got pretty stressed out about the idea of being very aware that without the backing of Patreon, we wouldn't even have this. And it can look a little bit like, well, I took the Patreon money, got the storage unit, and then didn't do anything with it and stopped uploading. And I'm very, very aware of that. So I want to reverse that situation around and really, really go for giving the people who did make this happen that value that you deserve. And obviously for everybody else, you want a cool Lego city. I mean, it's not just the people who've backed us on Patreon. Anyone who ever watches a video and watches our adverts or, you know, just shares a video. Everyone has obviously contributed towards making all of this possible. So it's not just the Patreon guys, but yeah, I do feel a little bit guilty, and I'm trying not to. I know it's silly. I know I can't help what's happened with my back. ironically, it was setting up the city that kind of threw it out in the first place. Moving wood around in the first place is where I felt the first twinge. I didn't throw it out completely until I was moving a box of Pokemon cards to sell on eBay a couple of weeks ago. But the very first twinge was when I was in here setting up the raised platforms the first time. So it's just going to recover, and then I'm going to do some more. I might have to recruit Matt to help me with that one. But yeah, that's all I wanted to do today. Just a little bit of an update, let you know I do still exist. The city still exists. I am constantly still thinking about it. And yeah, cannot wait to be able to push it on to that next phase of development. I mean, you'll have seen a couple of days ago that Block Party HQ now exists. I haven't brought it here with me today because I'm a little bit nervous it's going to fall apart in transit. So I think I need to have Anna with me holding it on her lap when we bring that here. But there's a few bits at home that need to be coming in. Hopefully I'll have the Lion Knights Castle ready to bring in soon as well. And I'm planning a whole like display for that to go on. So there is still lots of stuff going on, and it's just all a little bit slower and a little bit more home based than it was originally planned to be. But I still think give it a month or two, and it's going to start looking genuinely incredible in here. So I'm excited, and I'm very aware that I'm waffling. So I'll wrap things up here. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little update. If for no other reason, if you now have a bit more of a clear idea about what's been going on and why there haven't been Lego City updates. If you've enjoyed it, please leave a thumbs up on the video for us. Subscribe to the channel. If you are new, this was an odd video to start on, but if you are new, subscribe to the channel. And thank you very much for watching.